It's time for Donkey of the Day.
Donkeys of the Day, ask Charlamagne.
I'm a Democrat, so being Donkey of the Day is a little bit of a mixed blessing.
So like a donkey. Hee-haw. Okay.
Donkey of the Day.
The Breakfast Club, bitches.
Now, I've been called a lot in my 23 years, but Donkey of the Day is a new one.
Yes, Donkey of the Day for Thursday, September 18th goes to ABC. Now, if you haven't heard, ABC announced that it's pulling Jimmy Kimmel Live off air indefinitely. This comes after threats from the chairman of the FCC to the stations that carry the show and supposed backlash to comments Jimmy Kimmel made this week about the murder of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't even hear anything about these comments until yesterday when they suspended Jimmy Kimmel indefinitely. Can we go to CBS News for the report, please?
ABC has suspended Jimmy Kimmel's late night show indefinitely over comments that he made on his show Monday night about Charlie Kirk's death.
We had some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
The suspension comes after Nexstar announced that its ABC affiliates would preempt Jimmy Kimmel Live. Nexstar called the comments, quote, offensive and insensitive at a critical time in our national political discourse. A spokesperson for ABC said, quote, Jimmy Kimmel Live will be preempted indefinitely. Today, Federal Communications Commission Chair Brendan Carr blasted Kimmel's remarks and said the FCC has, quote, remedies it could look at. Nexstar currently has a major merger before the Trump administration for its proposed acquisition of Tegna. Jimmy Kimmel has not commented.
Now, if I'm understanding this right, people are upset because he's implying that the shooter was MAGA. Understandable. I haven't seen anywhere where a guy identifies as MAGA, but to me, that should be neither here nor there. What's the difference between Jimmy Kimmel saying the shooter was MAGA and all those folks on the right assuming the killer, Tyler Robinson, was a raging left lunatic? Okay, it's the same exact energy and exactly why partisan politics have no place in an institution like the FCC. Because if someone on the right gets on Fox News or any of these conservative platforms and blames the left before the shooter is even caught, the FCC says nothing. Okay, they were talking heads on all the news platforms blaming the left, and nobody said anything. But Jimmy Kimmel comes out, makes the statement he makes about the murderer being one of them, and I put one of them in air quotes, and ABC suspends him? ABC is taking out a page of Paramount's book and just kissing the ring. Okay, I know Nexstar Media Group owns a bunch of ABC affiliates, and they are in the middle of a $6.2 billion merger with media company Tegna, and they will need the FCC's approval of the merger. It's the same exact play as Skydance and Paramount. I know all of this is going on, but could you at least try to make it a little less obvious? I mean, FCC Chairman Brendan Carr was on Benny Johnson's podcast, and he literally threatened federal action against ABC affiliates who carried the show. Listen.
They have a license granted by us at the FCC, and that comes with it an obligation to operate in the public interest. And we can get into some ways that we've been trying to reinvigorate the public interest and some changes that we've seen. But frankly, when you see stuff like this, I mean, look, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. These companies can find ways to change conduct, to take action, frankly, on Kimmel, or, there's going to be additional work for the FCC ahead.
For an administration that doesn't like being labeled authoritarian, they damn sure do a lot of authoritarian things. Okay, serious question. Y'all are saying you're doing this in defense of Charlie Kirk. Do you really believe Charlie Kirk, who went on college campuses all the time, debating people of all walks of life, that was his thing to do, you really believe he would support you canceling people for exercising their free speech? Of course he wouldn't. But you all aren't doing this because you're supporting Charlie Kirk. You are using the death of Charlie Kirk to push your own political agendas. It's actually disgusting. Okay, if you cared about Charlie Kirk for real and you were the Christians you claim to be, and I put Christians in air quotes too. Okay, if you were the Christians you claim to be, you would be looking at the signs God is trying to show you. And the signs God is trying to show you is having real discussions about gun violence, real discussions about common sense gun reform in this country. I said this last week and I will say it again. I am 2A all day, but I'm also for common sense gun reform. Charlie Kirk said and these are his words, a certain amount of gun deaths are worth it to have the right to bear arms. I ask a simple question. In the name of the debate Charlie Kirk championed, is it worth it when the gun death is you? Is it worth it when the gun death is someone you love? MAGA, conservatives, why are you avoiding that conversation? Why are you avoiding that debate? Okay, Charlie Kirk got murdered while he was discussing gun violence. If that's not a sign from a higher power that maybe we should be having a conversation about gun violence and common sense gun reform, then I don't know what is. Okay? MAGA, I am disappointed in you. Okay, when did y'all become such snowflakes? All right, you were the anti-cancel culture party, the party of free speech. Okay, you hated the woke left, and now y'all the party that needs some sleep. Okay, how do you not recognize your own hypocrisy in this situation? Salute to my guy, Andrew Schultz. He posted something this morning I totally agree with. He said the left will say fascism is wrong unless you kill one of our political opponents, then we'll celebrate it. The right will say cancel culture is wrong unless you cancel the shows of our political opponents, then we'll celebrate it. That is absolutely accurate of where we are as a country. And as my guy Ted Ryan used to always say, you have a right, you have a left, but most of us are in the exhausted majority. Okay, we tired. Okay, we are tired of the partisan politics because while Dems and Republicans in positions of power in government do petty little things like this to each other, the people suffer. And networks like ABC, I don't understand how you expect to get taken serious when you bend the knee to an authoritarian strategy. You already paid Trump $15 million because of the defamation suit he filed against George Stephanopoulos. Why you pronounce his name? Stephanopoulos. You know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. Okay, Snuffleupagus. Now you suspending Jimmy Kimmel indefinitely because he made comments about Charlie Kirk? When you know the real reason you suspended him is because you need the FCC to approve this merger between Nexstar Media Group and Tegna? Listen, man, people who aren't proponents of free speech don't want a dialogue. They want a dictatorship of their own ideas. But the way I'm watching all these media companies and institutions bow down to the Trump administration, I'm convinced America just wants a dictatorship, period. Please let Remy Ma give ABC the biggest hee-haw.
Hee-haw, you stupid motherfucker. Are you dumb?
Donkey of the Day is sponsored by renowned personal injury attorney Michael the Bull Lamonsoff. Don't be a donkey when you need a fighter on your side. If you're ever injured, go to michaelthebull.com. That's michaelthebull.com. And when you mess with the bull, you get the horns.
Hold up. Every day I wake up.
Wake your ass up.
The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?